All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught us the truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. And the elect begins with 144,000. Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jehovah. Ba'ashem is in the name. Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The Rekakwadash, which is the Holy Spirit. I'm the brother Iwalam, you're joined with.
It's your brother Yaradon.
And we come back at you, brothers and sisters of the hopeful righteous elect, the household of the faith, with another lesson. Basically going about this quote, which I'm about to read, but also just to entitle this lesson that Esau Edom, it's in for, a rude awakening, the water, brother. The flesh be weak as hell, but this devil is in for a rude awakening, man. But I'm gonna read the quote and we're gonna expound upon it. A quote by Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's brother. It says, but suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negro as an inferior, and God is there and we look up and he is not white? What then is our response? Because we know that Esau Edom has been spreading these lies that as we know it today, as JC being a so-called white man that they hang up in the Christian churches. Blasphemy, and the whole world, believes that lie, that the so-called white man is God, man. The picture of what's that? Adam and
or King David, the Most High, one of them, I think,
touching
Adam.
fingers. Yeah, that's a complete blasphemy. His wish again. But just to go back to the quote.
We've been seeing this concept. We've came driving from a long far away. Now we see it again. Why the lesson started? His wish. His wish is to obliterate America. And put these heathen nations, Esau Edom mainly, into captivity and exterminate them. His wish.
Yep, that's right. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is a so-called black man. The Most High and his son, man. They are so-called black men. But I'm gonna read this quote one more time. We could jump into it. By Robert Kennedy says, but suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negroes as inferior? Right, these are the Lord's people. The so-called Negro, descends from the tribe of Judah, the tribe that Yahweh Shai descends from, And the so-called white man has delivered, started with the so-called Negro in America on down, man. The top tribe, Esau Edom, has been given, like I said, the top tribe on down, hell, man. And this is the tribe that the Lord comes from. It says, as an inferior, and God is there, and we look up, and he is not white. What then is our response? Right, your response is your ass going to go into captivity. You're going to have nothing to say, man. But just to start off, just to prove that, that the Most High, is a so-called black man. I'm going to start out with your scripture, Revelations. This is the book of Revelations.
4:3.
4:3. It says, and he that said was to look upon.
Just go back one verse.
Yeah. Revelations 4:2. It says, and immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. Right, that one to sit on the throne was Yahweh, the Most High. We're going to expound upon that in Daniel, the 7th chapter. Revelations 4:3. It says, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, and sight like unto an emerald.
Now, when you go look at them stones is brown stones, man. All right, and complexion. All right, and color. Those stones, a jasper and sardine stone, are brown. You could just take a simple Google. All right, and when you look it up, that's what you're going to see, man. So when you get to the kingdom of heaven and you get to the spiritual realm, you see the Father. All right, you're going to see a so-called black man, man, with white woolly hair, sitting on the throne, ready to hit you over the head with that judgment, man.
Yep, let's expound upon it. This is the book of Daniel, 7 and 8. I'm gonna start at 9. This is the book of Daniel 7 and 9. It says, and I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Right, the thrones casting down is these other heathens, man, these other nations. The Lord, because when the Lord Yahweh Shai comes back, he's coming down to take all rule and dominion away from these other nations, man. As Revelation say, he had many crowns upon his head. That's what the Most High is going to send his son back, his son Yahweh Shai back to do, man, to take these nations out of power, starting with this the number one enemy, this so-called white man. It says, Daniel 7 and 9 says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Right, the Ancient of Days is the Most High, Yahweh. Did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like the pure wool. And who has wool, woolly hair on the planet Earth? The so-called Negroes, man. The so-called, so we say what? Today they term, they're called so-called black people, African Americans, sort of say, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was slakia, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Right? Who has woolly hair on the planet Earth, man? The so-called Negroes. The Most High had woolly hair, as I always just read in Daniel 7:9, and that scripture we read in what, Revelations the 4th chapter. He had dark skin as well, man. But just to continue, this is Job 30:30, because we ultimately know what, that the Lord's people is dark skinned. Also, another point. This is the book of Job 30. Lord, bear with us. Job 30:30. It says, "My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat." Right? The Lord's people are very dark skinned people, ranging from, because you can just look at the soil, you can look at the dirt, ranging from light brown, because sometimes look like a so-called white man, all the way ranging from very dark skin, looking like those Hamites.
All my life growing up, man, I was around dark-skinned people, man, and they get darker in the sun. All right, when it's summertime, they get a little more, another darker shade, just like Esau would be trying to go get a little tan. They look like a Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so people as a dark-skinned people, they was always mistaken. It wasn't Moses mistaken for an Egyptian?
Yeah.
Didn't
he put his hand
Joseph's
in his,
brothers couldn't tell the difference from who he was from an Egyptian from their brother?
Yeah.
When he was sitting up there on the throne with them, because he was probably dressed like in a royal attire.
And just even we talking about the Most High, right now, but even the Esau, whitewashed, the prophets, because what's that? It's an account in the book of Exodus, how Moses put his hand in his bosom, and it came out as leprous as snow. The Most High told him to do that, just to basically give him a sign. Yep. He put his hand. Moses put his hand in his bosom and came out leprous as snow, and when he put it back in, it was as likened to the rest of his flesh. Basically showing you that even the Lord Himself is a dark skinned man, but also His people. But going back to the quote, touching upon that last part, what suppose then we say? Because what? The truth is going to be put in front of these devils' faces, man. These devils know the truth, man. But it's going to come to light, and these devils is going to be exposed, for hiding the truth for so long, But let's continue. Because ultimately, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the Most High is going to send His Son Yahweh Shai back, to render that judgment, man. This is the book of Isaiah 63:1. Because what? Death and destruction is coming to Esau Edom. Isaiah 63:1, it says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glory to his apparel, travailing in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." Right? Because ultimately, Yahweh Shai, like I said, Yahweh's going to send His Son Yahweh Shai back, to take this devil out of power in a brutal fashion, man.
Man, was power from, that fourth dimensional fire? Those cherries going to open up his mouth. That mouth of that cherry going to open up and zap these nations to smithereens, man.
That's right. Let me see. Let's see. All right, it says dyed garments from Basra. The Lord, because even in the scriptures it says what? It says right here, Isaiah 63:2. It says, "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat." Right. So the Lord, is going to do so much killing that what He's going to have, He's going to be drenched with blood, man. On His garment. It says, "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel," because of the killing that the Lord is going to do. Starting with these devils on down, man. And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. Right. The Lord is coming back to do a lot of killing, man. And it's going to start off, with Esau Edom. And the elites, that control this world, they're going to go into captivity, man. Verse 3 says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. Meaning the Lord, is going to terrorize shit. The Lord is going to be a one-man army, man.
Hey, it's just like in a temple. What did he do when he went to the temple? They was in there selling and had people stealing the shit. He flipped the tables over of the money changers, man.
Yep.
So it's a spiritual overtone to that also. When he come back, he's going to be a one-man army. He coming straight to the money changers, these elite banking families, man.
That's right.
All right. It say As far as the people that was none with me, when they talk about what's that in Isaiah 63, I believe.
Right here, I'm reading it right now. Yeah. Isaiah 63:3 says, "I have treaded the winepress alone."
Alone, yeah.
It says, "Of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment." Right, the Lord is coming back to do a lot of killing, man. It's going to start off with these devils, man, the ones, that's in power, and ultimately that cherry on top, that's going to, bring these devils down. What's that scripture how it talks about, it shall fall upon Idumea. The Lord is, creating these, as we call a second death, which is ultimately going to be that lake of fire, because when these missiles, destroy America, America is going to be that lake of fire. That's the cherry on top that the Lord is going to bring down upon Esau Edom, man. Before that Obadiah 1:18 come into effect, man, with Esau being cut off after he served his 1,000 years of captivity. But that's the cherry on top, man. Those missiles, man. It says, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Right, the Lord is coming back to do a lot of killing. Starting with these devils, man. Let's continue. Got three most. We can actually end it off with that Obadiah. This is the book of Zephaniah 5:3. It says, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it." Right, going back to the core, how it says, how, basically along the lines, how they treated the so-called Negro, here in America. How did we come over here to America? What's that? Deuteronomy 28:68, man. "The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." And who did that? The so-called white man. Ultimately, he, starting with the so-called white man, we had these other nations teaming up with this devil. But ultimately, this so-called, white man, he stole us, from our land. If you want to, just basically dive into history, 70 AD was ultimately, kicked out of Jerusalem by, what was that, Titus and Vespasian. We end up going to the west coast of Africa. We end up scattering to different parts of the world. But mainly, a lot of our people was on the west coast of Africa. And that's when the so-called white man, years later, came into, to basically what? Sell us into slavery. And this devil got to pay for that. It says, "And one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it." Here's the point. Verse 4 says, "I will bring it forth, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof."
Man, because he's the thief, man, like the brother was going into Deuteronomy 28. He stole us, all right, and he ultimately finessed the world. The phone had to chime, man. This nigga ultimately finessed the world, man. So, hey, the Lord said he gonna enter into the house of the thief, man. He coming. What Booker T tell Hogan? We coming for you, nigga.
Booker T, yeah. Because in Numbers it says the same thing. It says, if we basically be found in their hand, they got to pay for that, man. We're still found in this devil's hand, man. The quote going back, suppose what we say, it's not, these devils ain't gonna have a thing to say, man.
Yeah,
because what, that rap sheet is gonna be put front and center of all of the crimes and atrocities that they have done to our people, man, and to the world at that, man.
But then especially, the world, but the apple of the Lord's eye, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You killed the Lord. You killed Yahweh Shai. You put he was innocent. He ain't even never do nothing. He never stole. Never killed none of that. He never did no sin. He never went off. And then they condemned him, innocent blood, and put our Lord Yahweh Shai to death on the cross, beat him unlike anybody else was ever beat in world history. They beat him more than anybody else and put thorns on him and nails in his hand and stabbed him and pierced his side, man. And enslaved his family, his nation. And then shitting on his heritage and his culture and said he looked like this. He a fucking pink faggot Edomite hippie and say the angels is the little Edomite babies and shit. And then just say we the scum of the earth. Nah, man, hell no. Somebody has got to pay harshly. Hardcore, rigorous, perpetual, never-ending servitude bondage.
Yeah. Even Jeremiah, what's that, 30? Jeremiah 30 talks about, those that devour thee shall be devoured.
Yeah.
You know, all thine adversaries shall go into captivity, man.
Every one of them.
Every one of them, man. That's what we're seeing right now, man. Ultimately, the what's that? 2nd Ezra 6, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You know, we're seeing the transition of power right now. This is the book of Obadiah 1:18. It says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble." It says, "And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh has spoken it." Right? So ultimately, after that 1,000 years of captivity, you know, Esau is going to be rounded up and exterminated, man. You know, that's what we're, you know, heading towards right now, man. First, we're heading towards the destruction of this man's kingdom, which is America, Babylon the Great. We're at the tail end of his kingdom. You know, then we're going to gather these, so like Yahweh Shai, you know, the Most High is going to send Yahweh Shai back to bring this place down. You know, the Lord's elect is going to gather these other nations, you know, starting with these elites, you know, of these devils, and they're going to serve their 1,000 years of captivity. They're going to clean up the earth first. All the, you know, the shit that they done to the earth, they're going to clean it up, the dead bodies, you know, from, you know, the killing that the Lord is going to do to this place around the world also. But this devil has a lot to pay for, man, and we're seeing that. You know, suppose what we say, it's not going to be a damn thing that these devils will be able to say, man. You know, anything else up? So with that being said, we hope it was edifying. We want to end up by giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that taught us this truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the globe. Lord willing, we hope this lesson was edifying. Until next time, Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.